Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, we are a minimalist family who is living big with less. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about decluttering your fantasy self. So if you have things that are hanging around which you had the best of intentions of using, or when you found the time or the perfect moment that you were going to use them but you never get around to it, those are the things we're going to talk about decluttering today. So if you've got that sort of thing, stick around. If you guys have not heard of a fantasy self, basically it's just the self that we envision ourselves being. So whether it's the girl that goes and does all the yoga and fitness, or is a great cook, or does all the craft, those are the types of things that we're talking about today, but more so the ones that do not line up with our reality. And there's lots of reasons that this might happen. It might be that you've outgrown something. It might be that you just don't have the time or the inclination to do it. But we all have these things in our lives, and they can bring with them a whole heap of stuff that we just never get around to using. So me personally, I have definitely had to declutter my fantasy self. If you have been around this channel for any length of time, you would know that I really do not enjoy cooking. I do it just because I need to keep everyone alive. But prior to my minimalist journey, I used to have a heap of cooking things, and not just items to cook with, but also lots of things in my pantry that either my kids were not going to eat, or the recipes were incredibly complicated with lots of ingredients that you would only use once. And so I had this envisionment that I was going to be this wonderful cook who would cook all of these things, but it just never happened. And so I had to let go of that person. And when I did, I realized, hey, I can cook healthy, easy, simple meals for my family. I don't have to be a master chef. It's not something I enjoy. And the freedom that came from that, of letting go of that ideal that I had for myself, was so good. Another thing I used to do for my fantasy self is I used to buy clothes that were on trend. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that if you're going to wear them. But the problem is that I just was never going to wear them because I didn't feel comfortable. And so instead of buying clothes that are on trend, or even worse, on sale just because they're a good price, I now know my style really well. I know the clothes that I like to wear. I know it's skinny jeans, I know it's pencil skirts, I know it's solid tops, and I know it's scarves. And so those sorts of things are a good investment for me, whereas those things that maybe come and go season to season probably are not. So once I realized that that's what I was doing, that I was buying these clothes and not wearing them, I could stop that process and then just buy the things that I was going to use and love. So today I wanted to share with you 5 tips that I have for going through and giving yourself, your fantasy self, a little bit of a declutter, and then going through your house and getting rid of anything that doesn't align with the reality of who you are. So my first tip, which is probably, it's so important, please, if you do any of these, don't skip this one, is allow yourself to grieve the person that didn't get around to doing those things, the person that didn't end up using those things that you bought. You are a real person, and attached to those things that we buy is not just the finances that we spent to buy them, but also the intentions that we had to use them. And sometimes attached to that is regret and sadness because we never got around to using it, because we thought it was going to be wonderful and it wasn't. So it's completely fine to feel sad, especially if you're helping somebody else go through this process, giving them the grace to feel regret, to feel sad, and then let go of the things and move on. And if you can do this first, it's going to make the whole process so much easier. My second tip is, if you are a little bit unsure about whether you want to let something go or whether it is something you might want to do in the future, is set yourself a time frame. This is a great way to evaluate yourself and say, hey, I'm going to give myself 3 months or 2 months or a year to either use these things, or if I haven't, I'm going to let them go. And this is a great way because it's then in the forefront of your mind. So if it is a priority for you, you're more likely to use it. And if it's not, it's that realization that you are ready to actually let those things go. And so whether the time frame is a physical time frame of like 2 months or whatever, or a project time frame that, I'm going to do, one of these a week, and then if you can't do it, then you can reevaluate after that. But at least you've given yourself some time to think about it, to bring it into a priority, to see if it is something you want to do. And then if it's not, you'll know that you can let it go with great confidence that you've had a think about it and you have given it a go. My third tip is that it's okay to keep a reflection of your reality. And so what I mean when I say this is that there are things that are our fantasy self that may be partially true. So for example, if you were a camping family and you really loved camping, but you only went once or twice a year, but the camping stuff that you actually own is like Bear Grylls style every weekend camping, then that's something you might want to reevaluate. And you might want to say, hey, look, we definitely want to keep some camping stuff, but we want it to be in line with our reality that this is really only once or twice a year and that maybe we don't need as much as we have. And the same thing can be said for craft projects. For example, if you have a whole room dedicated to scrapbooking, but you're really only doing it once or twice a month, maybe one cupboard is enough and you can still love and enjoy it, but in a way that's less overwhelming. This is great two ways. One, because you're keeping less items that you're not using, and two, is it actually makes it less overwhelming to do those things. So when there's not as much stuff involved, you're more likely to just go and grab it out because you know exactly where it's there, you can quickly do one project at a time, and it's much less overwhelming. My fourth tip is don't let perfection stop you from using what you have. Now, I have spoken about this before, but I am totally a perfectionist at heart. I would love everything to look exactly like Pinterest, and it would be wonderful if it did, but that's not reality. And sometimes I think we hold on to things for this perfect day, for this great quiet time that we're going to have, or whatever the case may be, for special visitors to come. And that's fine, but it also stops us from enjoying these things that we've spent good money on. So one of the things that I would do is that I would perhaps buy a craft project for myself and then never get around to using it. And one of the things that I found really freeing was to let my kids do it. And it doesn't matter that it doesn't look like the box. The reality is I would much prefer an item be used than sitting in a cupboard or a storage box, not bringing anybody any joy. And use the paints, use the paper. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. It's better for you to use it than for it to sit there doing nothing, helping nobody. The fifth tip and the final one, and this is useful whether you're decluttering your fantasy self or just decluttering in general, and that is enjoy the benefits of letting go of things. There truly is such a freedom and peace when you can let something go, knowing that, all of the regret and guilt doesn't belong on you. These are just things. They are here to serve us. We're not here to serve them. And those things have an opportunity now to bless somebody else. Maybe there's someone in your life that can use something that you thought you were going to, but they really will. Maybe it's some beauty products that you thought you were going to put on your face, but you know what? I know a ton of little girls who will love to lather up on that makeup. And we would much prefer it to be used and loved by someone than ending up getting thrown out in the end anyway. The other thing is that everything we have in our home attaches a cost to it. And whether that cost is our mental space, whether it is physical space or financial space because we have to own bigger homes to hold all this stuff, or we're purchasing more things than we really need. When we allow ourselves to let these things go, enjoy the hobbies that are really true to us, and not hold on to a reality that maybe is different from ourselves. Guys, I hope to hear from you down in the comments. I can't wait to hear what is part of your fantasy declutter. You guys always leave me the sweetest comments, and they are one of my favorite things to hear from you. If you are new here, we would absolutely love to have you subscribe. Here are some other videos we think you might like, and I will catch you guys in the next one.